Welcome to Always an Escrow with Serena Appel and Colby Birchton. Hello, Colby.
Hello, Serena. How are you?
I am so beyond excited to introduce Meagan Ouderkirk, co-founder of Hedge, a performance luxury line blending elegance and function for women's golf, tennis, and everyday wear. With Hedge's expansion into boutiques and pro shops around the country, Meagan is here to share how the brand is redefining luxury athletic attire with classic style and modern comfort. Meagan, welcome to our show.
Thanks for having me. It's so great to see you again. It's so nice to meet you, Colby.
It's so nice to meet you. It's like a reunion for you two. That's great.
Many iterations of our careers ago, actually.
That is so true. Meagan and I did cross paths at Deutsch Advertising in our creative worlds many moons ago. And that actually lends itself to how this kind of like how you got to Hedge, right? We were in advertising, you were in the creative department, and then you had a desire to get into photography. Tell us more about that moment in time, and then let's get into Hedge.
Sure. Well, I firmly believe that everything you experience in life sort of leads you to the next step, right? So you're kind of prepared for it. And sure enough, my background in advertising, working with you, and after we sort of departed that land of Deutsch, I was an art director there. And I decided I wanted to become a photographer. So shopping my book around, and I went to some studios, and I met some people from Ralph Lauren. So they were able to blend my love of photography with my art direction. And my job there at Ralph Lauren was to be the photo shoot art director for their website. So for the next 6 years, we grew it from, shooting one coffee mug and a polo and a teddy bear to, huge home sets and kids and men's underwear and women's collection and tabletop sunglasses and everything. And so that was 6 years. I got to see so many different collections come through and styles. So that was a really fun job. And I was doing casting and, all the editing and hiring photographers and talent was really fun, working with the stylists. So that was a great experience. And then, but I did have a baby and then another baby. I was 8 months pregnant in August, left that job, just kind of needed to get off my high heels for a little bit and focus on the kids, and started to get really into tennis and golf. And a friend that I played tennis with, her name is Antonia, we were doing tennis clinics, and she said to me one day at the end, "Oh, you're always wearing cute stuff. I really feel like there isn't that much out there. Maybe we should start a tennis line." And I was like, I couldn't say no because it was so true. At the time, maybe Lululemon had one tennis skirt, right? Everything was just the black leggings and the top. And they only made one thing in white. We have to wear the entire regulation as white on our tennis court. And we were all wearing the same skirt, which drives me mad. I can't stand to be wearing what somebody else is wearing, right? Or the original. So I said yes. And we started with a collection of 10 classic pieces. And it was mostly for tennis to start. And then the next year, we launched into golf and to do some more colors and some more longer skirts and styles because golf needed help too.
Okay, so this is back in 2015 when this all started with Antonia, right?
Yes.
Okay, so what was the first piece of clothing that you conceptualized for Hedge?
Yeah, so we started with just women's, and the best-selling piece I only have a mini version of, but it is a dim dress. I was telling Serena that she should have one of these.
Ooh.
But it's just the perfect little dress, right? And you could do anything in it. Ours has pockets.
And look at that silhouette, the way that the waist is cinched. That is gorgeous.
Describe it for our audience that can't see it on YouTube.
Right. So it's a cream fabric in a performance technical poly fabric, and it's super stretchy. It's very flattering. It's not revealing. It's not see-through. The dresses are a little longer. We felt also that everything out there was too short, too flimsy, and cling to your body. So the fabric drapes really nicely. We have a lot of details on it. The seams are a seam you would see on more of a cocktail dress, not on a tech fabric. It's a more complicated seam, and adding trims and details that really elevate it. So you can wear it to a cocktail party if you wanted to.
So I was a big tennis buff back in the day, and I always remember the ladies with those, like they kept on putting the balls underneath their dresses. Is there like an area for the balls?
Sure, it's not. No, we make the shorts actually, where you can tuck them in.
Okay.
You can tuck the ball underneath that way, and we also everything has pockets. So this skirt that I'm wearing now has pockets in it, and they've got a little mesh part, so that clay on the court or the dirt from the golf course goes right through it, and it's lightweight, so you can put them in there too. Also, this you can't see it if you're just listening, but there's a little tee holster here, for your golf tees, so you don't have to poke a hole in your pocket for your golf tees or stick them in here and they fall out if the wind's blowing. So there's a place for everything. It's all very useful.
Wow, I've never heard of that before. That's amazing.
So intentional, right? I mean, it definitely comes with experience, right?
Yes, very funny story. I grew up in Virginia and I did not play tennis and golf growing up. I moved to New York City and met my husband, and he, as we were dating, one weekend out in the Hamptons where he kind of grew up on the weekends, said, let's go play golf. And I was like, well, sure, that sounds like a great adventure. Let's do that. I go and I change. I come out in my khaki shorts and my white tank top. And he looks at me funny and says, you can't wear that. And I was like, what do you mean I can't wear that? You can't. Okay, pleated pants, banker guy. You can't tell me what to wear. My superlative in high school was best dressed. You can't tell me what to wear. I was like, no, sweetie. It's a dress code, an attire regulation. And I was mortified. I, caved inside and zero confidence. And he took me out to the Gap and we bought these long shorts and a boxy polo, right? Where the sleeves come down to here and I have no waist. I feel like a man, right? So, when we started this, I was like, not only does tennis need help, but golf really needs help, right? People, I know so many women who don't want to even play the sport because the clothes aren't cute.
So what specific challenges have you faced in designing attire that works seamlessly from sports to cocktails?
Well, there are so many challenges. I think designing for all the different beautiful body types that many women have and making sure that things feel good and are comfortable and are flattering at the same time. So that's the challenge on its own. And whether you're tall or short, how long should the skirt be? So we actually make skirts in two different lengths, 16 and 18. And so I think the challenge, can be, well, do you add those shorts underneath? Well, if you add the shorts, women's thighs are all different. Their legs are different, right? So the skirt may fit, but the shorts don't fit. So we make skirts that don't have shorts. We sell the shorts separately. And, we've learned to solve the problems. We were starting to solve the problems by designing the dresses and the skirts and things in the beginning. For an example, we have the bodysuit, which, you think bodysuit, why would I'm not going to play sport in a bodysuit, but it's so great on a golf course because it's never going to come untucked. It's never going to be bunchy. It's never going to make you have more of a belly than you did before because it doesn't come untucked.
I love that. So Hedge blends elegance and performance. The collection features luxurious materials like performance poly and French terry. How do you select these fabrics, and what role does sustainability play in your sourcing process?
I mean, sustainability, I can answer that very easily, mainly because it's classics. I'm not doing trends. It's not fast fashion. It's high quality. You take care of things well and they last forever. I'm still wearing the same skirt, actually, that I've had probably since we started it. And fabric-wise, I was at a fabric show, which at the Javits Center is a blast to go and just see all these different cool, laces and mesh fabrics that you can use.
And then also, and you're also considering how they wear too, right?
Right.
So, like the end, I would say I really enjoyed, I really enjoy getting on the Hedge website because there's a blog about how to care for your fabrics, especially when there's stains, sweat stains, whatever. And there's recommendations from your mother, straight from your mother, some really tried and true tips. And, like using vinegar to get scents out and, just like real household tips
Yeah.
for, cleaning
Yeah.
these wonderful materials.
Tech
Yeah.
fabric holds all the stain and scent, right?
scents.
So vinegar smells horrible. So we found lavender vinegar, which is really helpful. You spray it on. The other thing you don't want to do is leave your sweaty clothes in the hamper and deal with it later. So I sometimes, if I don't have time to wash something or start a load, then I'll just leave it in a bin of water, even just to kind of soak, so that it doesn't, get stuck in there.
So smart. So recently you expanded into boutiques. What inspired this move beyond country club pro shops, and how do you see the shift shaping the future of Hedge?
Well, we started in it's called Greengrass Pro Shops because of it, that's where you end up playing a lot of tennis and golf is at clubs. But it's not everybody can shop there, right? And we want Hedge to be available to everyone. We have the website, of course, but it's nice to try it on. So more of these sort of tennis boutiques and lifestyle boutiques. Back in 2015, there weren't so many athleisure options, and lifestyle boutiques weren't carrying athletic attire, right? So I always felt, well, the pieces for Hedge always look to me like lifestyle. You're just playing tennis in them.
I love the kind of I think the idea that you have these timeless looks that go from, athletics to cocktails and how they wear and really these timeless looks too. So let's talk a little bit about signature details. Hedge's signature hand stitched button and other details set your collection apart.
Yeah, well, not only do when you're going to, you got to pick buttons. These are things that you didn't know I would have to do in my new job, but you do when you're picking the buttons. And so, I didn't want it to be every same old button. So there was a button that was 6 holes. And I was like, well, that's cool. Why don't we, what can we do there? And how can we put an H on it? And, so we threaded, here, I'll show you. We actually threaded the 6-hole button so that it's an H, which is kind of fun. So if any of the pieces have buttons, you all have one 6-hole button.
The fabulous little details that are on Hedge's buttons that really do show your custom design.
The other thing we do is we're sort of anti-logo, we want people to know that it's Hedge, but I don't want to wear a Nike shirt out to dinner. And, I don't necessarily need people to know what brand I'm wearing. It's more about what the piece is doing for your body and how you feel in it. But so all of our pieces have this tone on tone white thread on the white shirt. So you don't really see it, but it's there. And when we started the brand, my husband was like, well, wait, how is anybody going to know? How are you going to share the brand if no one can see the brand? I'm like, actually, people ask more, what are you wearing? Because they can't read it.
That's the best when people ask, right?
Yeah, exactly. So little tricks like that. And the H logo is the inspiration behind that. It's an actual aerial view of the tennis court. So if you're looking this way, it's the baseline and the little notches.
That's
I
awesome.
love that. I see that. Yes, as a drone, kind of like aerial view. I love that.
Yeah, and the word Hedge, which we just got our trademark, big deal.
That's awesome.
It was inspired, from when I first started to go to the Hamptons. Right, there are all these extremely tall privet hedges, and God only knows what's behind there, right? And again, you kind of want to know, well, what is that? What's going on back there? It's all exclusive and beautiful and perfectly, groomed. And so that is where the name was inspired from.
So let's talk future of Hedge. As you continue to grow the brand, what new collections or product categories can we expect from Hedge?
Well, we're always trying to, I like to say, share, right? So we find great things all over the place when we travel and meet wonderful people when we're working. And so I would say it would be to expand more the accessories and the lifestyle of the brand, right? So always introducing new pieces that we feel like we don't exist. We have some new golf skirts, and we're doing a line of sweatshirts, which is an artist collaboration. But doing things like this water bottle, which actually our friend Alex designed. It's meant to look like a vintage can of tennis balls.
Nailed it.
It's our favorite brand of water bottle. It's called Near, and it keeps things cold for like 3 days. So when we learn about these amazing things, what we want to do is share. I have another friend in California who makes tennis bags, and it's not your average tote, right? It's got this beautiful webbing, and it's got these nice little details here. So I would say just more of the same and trying to reach out to more people.
Well, certainly it's eye-catching, it's intentional what you're doing. You're popping up in pro shops and boutiques. You're direct to consumer. Everybody should hop on your website.
Hedge, Hedge New. So the brand is Hedge, but the website is Hedge New York written out.
Hedge New York. Your Instagram feed, your social media really does capture it all. And of course, as the photographer, and art director that you are, you have some fantastic shoots that we see that are outside and on incredible models, like showing off the collection. Just beautiful. Everybody should take a look at the collection. Again, I wanted to underscore the classics that you have. Then you also have a line of vintage. I just wanted to touch on that because you were curating that by on your own, on your travels. And I just find that to be like such a nice addition to the line. But they're finds. Where are you finding these pieces?
Right. So I'm wearing a vintage sweater now. It has these amazing applique tennis rackets, but I so all over. I've been taking trips to Europe with each one of my girls as they turn 10. And so I've been to Spain and Italy and Greece and Paris, and I find them everywhere. So, all over the world and here in New York and at vintage fairs. But it's great to pair with, the basic skirts, right? We sell some very clean classic pieces. And so, every now and then you want to spice it up. So it started as inspiration. And again, we just want to share what we find.
I have a good question for you. So, advice for aspiring entrepreneurs. What would you give to other, let's just say, women looking to start their own fashion or performance wear brands?
I would say don't hesitate, right? I mean, if you feel there's a need, that it's something missing from the market, go for it, right? You'll learn as you go. I would try to not listen to your fears, right? Which are always going to be there every day. I'm scared of something that I'm doing. Something is new for me every day. But I love it. That's kind of what keeps it interesting. And, there's hard parts and there's huge rewards, right? People coming up and saying, I'm so glad I found you. And, so it's rewarding. Go for it.